Hi everyone, my name is Ben and I am also on the Swerve team. I'm one of the few remote employees. I actually live in Dallas, Texas. It's a sunny, beautiful day here today. It's nice to take that in. But I'm also working remote and we are sheltered in our home. So I thought today, for those of you who are also looking for something to do, I thought we could make a delicious spice cake using a delicious Swerve Sweet Vanilla Cake as our base. Make it simple, easy, and use products within your pantry. So let's get started. So the first key to any cake, so this is kind of important, is I've taken just a basic like 9-inch, you can do an 8-inch round cake pan. I have truly buttered this. So y'all, I love butter, but I want to make sure it does not get stuck in this pan. I also took some parchment paper. I just put my pan actually on the parchment paper, and then I took my knife around to get this perfect circle. I'm not this crafty. It's not too hard to do. You should try it out, but pretty simple and easy. I'm gonna put it in for my first step. I've also preheated the oven to 350, but I'm just lining up my pan. It's all buttered, it's good, it's lined up, you're ready to go. So I'm gonna put this aside. We will put the cake batter in the pan and then into the oven. Next, I would like to take our Swerve Sweets Bake Mix. It's a vanilla cake mix. It's gluten-free, grain-free, sugar-free. Makes a better-for-you treat. Definitely right now when I'm craving some desserts, this gives me a really good option. So I'm just gonna pour in the dry mixture out of the bag into my bowl. That's exciting. Can't wait. And then I've combined some spices. I have some cinnamon, some cloves, some allspice, I think a little bit of ginger, and maybe some nutmeg. I think nutmeg is in here. So I'm just gonna throw that in. Now I've got, as I said, I am in Dallas, Texas. So I've got my Texas spatula, although I am from Alabama and an Alabama fan. Roll Tide. Hopefully I did not offend anyone. But I'm just blending in these spices and mixing it with bake mix. So I'm gonna set that aside. We don't need it right now, but it's coming soon. Now, once I have my cake pan ready, I have my dry ingredients combined, I am going to combine all of the wet ingredients. So what I've done is I've got my vanilla, a tablespoon of vanilla is already in this very large bowl. I would use a medium to large bowl for this next step. Then I'm going to throw in 2 eggs, room temperature. Key, you want to have that consistent temperature throughout your baked good. So I'm going to throw that in. Now here's the exciting part. I'm going to spice up this cake with a little more sweetness with our brown sugar replacement. Brown Swerve, so we're gonna get that out. You saw it packed beautifully as it came out of the bowl. That's exciting. It's gonna sweeten up that cake, give it also a little bit more of a brown color that you want for a spice cake. I'm gonna throw in a 1/2 cup of oil. You can use canola oil, you can use coconut oil, whatever your preference is, just make sure it gives you the right flavor profile and taste profile that you want in your cake. We're going for vanilla and spice. All right. Okay, so to make it a little more moist, I toss in some unsweetened applesauce. Now you can find this in most grocery stores if you were out and about and having to go to the grocery to get some provisions. If not, you can substitute probably 2 tablespoons of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of yogurt. You're 100% fine, ready to go. The cake will turn out delicious and moist and wonderful. So just work with what you have in your kitchen. This is easily substitutable. I am gonna toss in 4 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce. So there we go. This is the exciting part. Just kidding, we're getting wild and crazy. Okay, so I have all of the wet ingredients in the bowl. And you know what, I'm gonna take this whisk and I'm just gonna blend them all together. I'm gonna whisk. If you wanna use a hand mixer, you can do that also. But I'm gonna whisk, and I will tell you, I like to whisk with some intensity and fervor. You're gonna hear it. Now I like to do this just because sometimes I feel like adding those extra air bubbles into the wet ingredients bring a little bit more bubble into the gluten-free ingredients of the alternative cake that's almond flour, coconut flour, and then sweetened with Swerve. But I feel like it brings some of that air bubble and that texture I'm looking for when I'm using the cake that's made with flour. So that is why I'm whisking real hard, getting my workout. This may be my workout for the day. We will see. Okay, so I feel like I've got the bubbles I want. You know, I worked a little overtime, not too crazy. It was a lot of fun. And now the easy part, I'm just gonna add in the dry ingredients. Yep, so I'm just gonna blend these in with my spatula. Sometimes with our chocolate chip mix, we gently fold. With this one, you know, it's okay if you're a little aggressive and you wanna just blend these ingredients together. And you all know, I realized that I also left one thing out, and that's just a little bit of water. So I'm gonna take about 1/4 cup of water. I know you probably can't see me, but that's all right. So I realized I left a little bit out, and I can add this at the end, which is why these mixes are beautiful. Simple and easy. I'm gonna add a little bit of water, because when I made this, I realized it wasn't liquid enough, and I realized I left something out, and that was the 1/4 of a cup of water. So I'm gonna add that, and I am spilling on myself. So I am gonna add the water. It is coming together, it's becoming pourable. But y'all, this cake is one of my favorites just because I grew up in South Alabama, hence the Alabama fan. And I grew up where, you know, cakes were a feature at all of your family gatherings, your birthday parties. For me, it was also church events. So the reality is that as I have grown into using Swerve in all of my baking and cooking, and even going towards more of the alternative flours of almond flour and coconut flour, I miss those wonderful, delicious cakes. So I've been on a little bit of a cake phase the last month. I recently made a carrot cake with our bake mix. I also just made from scratch a pineapple coconut cake, and a hummingbird cake, which is typical Southern cake. So just know that on our website, cakes are coming soon. So if there's something you want to do just with your family, it's a great family activity to just make a cake. We try to make it a little more simple and easy, obviously, with these bake mixes, or you can make them from scratch. We just want to make sure we have the ingredients in our house. So we're trying to make it a little more simple for you. So I've mixed these dry ingredients. I've mixed them really well. I'm going to take our prepared cake pan with the parchment paper, if you recall, and I'm just going to throw in our mixed ingredients. So the way this cake is going to bake, I'm going to put it in the oven again at 350. It's preheated and ready. I'm going to cook it for about 25 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out of the oven and then cover it with aluminum foil. Now let me tell you why I cover it with aluminum foil. I do that because we do have some starchy root plants in Swerve. That helps with the browning and caramelization. It actually looks like it's made with sugar. My dad is a diabetic from, again, small town Alabama. And he's just an old Southern man, y'all. And if I brought him a treat that did not look like it was made with sugar, he'd be like, I'm not eating it. So this gives the opportunity, because of those starchy root plants, it looks like it's made with sugar, but sometimes with a cake specifically, if it overcooks longer in the oven, so 25 minutes to 30 minutes, I normally cover it for the final 10 to 20 minutes, depending on your cake recipe and what it calls for as far as timing. So for this cake specifically, it calls for 25 minutes in the oven. I take it out, and then I cover it with aluminum foil, and then put it back in for around another 5 to 10 minutes, really 10 minutes, so that it gets the consistency I want and the whole cake is evenly cooked without over browning. So I'm gonna put it in the oven, and then we are going to frost the cake. So don't get too wild, don't get too crazy. Coming back at you, I'm gonna have a cream cheese frosting. It's also on our website, so be ready. So y'all, this is the finished cake. Again, it cooked for about 35 minutes in the oven at 350. Look how beautiful that is though. It's got the brown from the brown Swerve, also brown from the spices. Those prebiotic fibers, they help to also brown the cake, so it looks beautiful. It looks like a spice cake. I'm excited. I created a cream cheese frosting. Now I feel like, in looking at this, that I created too much frosting. First of all, is there such thing for some, a majority of people I may not trust in life, they would say yes. I would probably cut this in half now that I have it out of the bowl. This is around a stick of cream cheese, a stick of butter. I've got about 3/4 cup of Swerve confectioners, and I have some vanilla, maybe a teaspoon and a half. But I have definitely put, I'm gonna have some, what they say, I'm gonna have some icing with my cake, or my cake with my icing. Oh, I'm gonna have cake with my icing. That's for sure. I'm gonna have cake with my icing. So this is a mound. It will be about the same size if this was a double-decker cake. But I'm just gonna put it on here. I'm gonna go with it. It's gonna be delicious. We can scrape off excess if we don't want it. But again, that person I'm gonna keep a watchful eye on. I'm gonna keep a watchful eye on. Because can you really ever have too much frosting? So this is the frosted spice cake. You got those spices, you have the acidity of the cream cheese, you have the sweetness of the Swerve confectioners and the frosting. And then I'm just gonna cut a little slice so y'all can see the inside of the cake. See what you think for yourself. So I am gonna now this will last me a couple days, and it is gonna be delicious and wonderful, and family will enjoy it over the period of the next couple days at dinner, maybe even lunch, maybe a little snack. The beautiful part with Swerve is that you can have your cake and you can eat it too. So it's really good. It's one of my favorite recipes. It reminds me of home. And you know, right now, that's kind of what we need. A little bit of comfort, a little bit of home. And I definitely get it with this spice cake. So if it's on my lips, it just means I'm enjoying it. There's frosting all over me. But yeah, try this recipe out. It's on our website at swervesweet.com. And just look for the spice cake. It's wonderful, it's delicious, it's spicy, and it's sweet. So thank you. Y'all take care and stay safe.